Hi guys, today I wanted to show you a little trick that you can use when you apply your blush color. It involves the colors you're using and how you apply it, and I think that it gives you a really nice, youthful, fresh-faced look to your overall look and your overall complexion, and I think it's a nice little trick. It basically involves applying blush to the top of your cheekbones as opposed to the apples of your cheeks. The look I'm trying to replicate is kind of when kids are like running around playing and their cheeks get really flushed, and you could kind of see like, I think little kids get this a lot. You can kind of see it on the top of their cheekbones, right underneath their eye. They get that spot of color right there, and it's a really nice natural flush. A lot of times it comes out when you've been in the sun all day. A few key things if you want to achieve this look, I think a few important things to consider is the placement of your blush on the top of your cheekbones, which I'm going to show you in a second, and also color choice. I like to reach for cool tone blushes, colors that kind of have a blue undertone, because I think that they really contrast with the warmth of my bronzer really, really nicely, and you get that pop of color that kind of looks more lit from within, I think. Also, I go for bright cheek color when I'm doing this, just because, I mean really bright, almost borderline neon, which can sound a little scary, but I really think that they end up looking more natural in the end. It really replicates the look of, you know, when your blood is really flowing, like if you've just gone for a jog on the beach or you spent a lot of time in the sun or something like that, without actually spending a lot of time in the sun. So a few colors that I really like to use for this look. This is MAC Blush in Pink Swoon, and this isn't too bright, so if you have really fair skin, this will probably be a good one. You can see it is like a cool tone pink. Just a swatch for you. So that one will work, just have to build up the color a little bit. And I really like this one too. This is the one I'm going to be using in the video. This is my Bare Minerals Ready Blush in the Faux Pas. And this is a gorgeous color. I love this so much. Again, a blue tone pink. And this is one I just recently picked up, and I've been loving. This is the blush that I've been using to do this technique pretty much every single day. So I like that one. It's very similar to Pink Swoon, just a little bit, almost like a little bit cooler and a little bit brighter. So maybe if you have like medium, fair to medium skin. And this one is an Illamasqua blush. This is one of my favorites. This is Chase. And this one does have the same brightness as the other two, but you can really build up the depth of this one. I think it would be really nice for like deeper skin tones. Really add a nice pop of color. And also the Urban Decay Afterglow Cheek Tint in Crush. This is, like I said, one of those borderline neon colors, but again, look how natural it looks when you blend it into the skin. And this one, when you first apply it, as expected, does look very, very neon, almost like that really intense flamingo pink. But then when you blend it down a little bit, you can see how glowy and natural it looks, because it does allow some of your natural skin tone to shine through. It just brings out that extra glow. I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Ready Blush in the Faux Pas, and any of the other blushes I showed work just as well for this too. And you would think a fan brush would be the ideal option for applying color to the top of the cheekbones, but I actually really just like a regular angled contour brush, just a regular blush brush for this. And this is an F70 from Sigma. I think the easiest way to do this is to actually just start moving your blush brush and let the bristles just catch on the top of your cheekbones. So you're not actually deliberately applying it there and making too much of an impression with your brush. You're just kind of letting it catch on the top. And this is kind of where those bright blushes come into play, because you can see you barely even have to touch. You barely have to do much at all to get it to really show up. And you want the most color to be right here, like right underneath your eye. So after you've gotten to the intensity you want to grab your bronzer. So I just grabbed my Tarte Mineral Bronzer in Hotel Heiress, which looks like that. It's a very deep bronze color. You don't have to go this dark if you don't want to, but I think this is actually a really nice buildable shade for a variety of skin tones. And this is basically just an F50. We kind of want the blush or the bronzer to come a little bit farther down, like a little bit farther in than we normally would, because we don't really have much color going on there. So I'm just concentrating on applying it to the hollows of the cheek and then blending it, like feathering the color up to the blush. So I'm just going to apply this to my hairline, just blend it into my hairline, and then apply it to the outer edges of my face like I normally do, just around my temples, the hollows of my cheeks, end of my nose, my chin a little bit. And you can definitely do your bronzer step before your blush like I think most people do if you wanted to. But sometimes if you apply bronzer and then you go and apply your blush color to get it to show up over the bronzer, you have to apply more of it. So that way it just keeps it from getting out of control and looking like too much product. If you did want to use a product like the Urban Decay Afterglow Cheek Tint, normally I wouldn't wear all these products together, but just for the sake of showing you, you could take a little bit. And what I would do with this is probably concentrate it more just right there in that spot I was talking about where you want most of the color to be. With the powder blush, you can be a little bit more liberal and just kind of blend it, but you want to be careful with a product like this because it is so bright. You can see that it's just kind of like a glowy look because it's that almost neon color. And then you want to take a really dense brush. You can blend it in with your fingers. It's fairly easy to do with this product, but if you wanted to use a brush, I would suggest a kabuki type angle brush like a F84, something really dense. And just very lightly blended look. And that actually looks really pretty on top of the products that I've already used. But normally I would, if I wanted to use this in addition to anything else, I would probably layer underneath just because it is like a creamier type, like a tinted type product, almost like a cheek stain or cheek tint. So that one just kind of adds a little bit more oomph to the look. It just makes the color look a little bit more punchy and tropical and that kind of a thing. But that's just a quick tip from me to you. It's something that I've been doing a lot lately and I want to show you guys. So try it out, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!